Hi, it's Bria the Bright Queen, and today we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything. This video is titled, as you can see, um, Doors Are Opening on Their Own. Things are opening up on their own. I felt a big shift, I believe, last Friday, so like March the 20th or March 20th, 21st. It's finally around the time of the true new year from what I've observed throughout my life. It's always around this time, the end of March, the beginning of April is when I feel the new year things happening. And a big theme has been realizing the ways in which control has been controlling me, and that is directly connected to how doors are opening on their own without you having to go and physically open them. And this specific wording came to me when I was sitting outside and I realized that my front door was open, and it's been doing that recently. I think there's something wrong with the latch now, but at first I was like, ooh, this is like very like mystical thing, and it still is, because there's no such thing as coincidence. So don't let nobody ever try to downplay your stuff. I can't stand when people be like, oh, that's coincidence, or it can be explained. Well, just because it can be explained in one way doesn't mean a different or an other explanation isn't also just as, if not more, true or more compatible with your reason for being exposed to it. Yesterday, I took a much needed break from being around my family, and I went to this nearby like park area. And as I took this second walk or third around that area, I came upon the backside kind of, and I saw they had put up an arch, a little metal arch over the end of a dock that was connecting to a pond. And then I saw from there that they'd made an even bigger arch. Did I say arc? Arch of metal in the bigger pond that was over a water fountain. And both of the arcs had mist that would come from it. And I got from those message with encouragement from my person that portals are opening to give relief, because not only are they just these metal structures, you know, that's cool enough on their own, but they give off mist, and it's very hot here already in Texas. So that's just such a generous thing for them to have come up with an art design that is also functional and provides like reprieve from the sweltering heat. And all of this stuff I know is connected to this new year, the year of the fire horse, and these huge openings that are happening. And usually every year around this time, I feel like this pressure. I feel all these things, you know, changing, or it's this buildup of stuff. And the advice that I've been given and I'm doing my darndest to implement has been to let go of control, because everything that's happening is happening for you. And it's this time I feel going to be more specific to exactly what you've asked for, even though we are the creators of our reality and it's always what we ask for. I do feel like this time is going to be more clean alignment. And the reason that I feel this is because if you go back and watch, or if you've already watched my videos called I Am Back, there's part 1 and part 2. I believe in both of those, but should be for sure in part 1 of that I Am Back. I talk about the 80s and how the 80s themes have been coming up, and how I was feeling that there was something from the 80s, the energy that was playing out again during that time because of how heavy the 80s was at that time. I believe it was around, should be October, no, November time when I recorded those videos and when I was piecing these things together. I think early November. And now I've been feeling a lot of the 90s things coming back around, starting with the movie Matilda, which was released in 1996, which was very big year in terms of another connection to me. And then 1997 was something else that I put in my notes that I don't remember right now. 1999 was the year that Arizona Wilder's interview came out about the reptilians that I just saw on my timeline thing. 1999 was also the year I was born. It's just been a lot of this stuff with the 90s. I've been seeing a lot of little imagery of like Pixar and Toy Story, which I know came out in the 90s. So from what I've been feeling about this, the 90s energy being really, really heavy right now is connected to something that other people have said. One of those people is Solara Speaks. And I'll make sure to put her link in the description, but I share her posts all the time. I think I literally just shared one, so she shouldn't be very hard to find. But she mentioned in a video recently that the reason that ascension or a return to home as our true love embodied selves, you know, in this place, returning to a state of heaven. The reason it's not instantaneous is because the old and the new won't be able to exist at once because of the embodiment of source code of love is not able to sustain what is not, you know, in resonance with it. And so all these old structures first have to fall before this heaven, you know, can be risen again. And it is rising. It's constantly rising. I don't want to make it sound like it's something that it's not happening and that we have to wait for. That's not what I'm saying at all. And so that's when it clicked to me that it made sense that at first it was the 80s and then now it's the 90s, and it's gonna go up, I feel, by the decade until we reach this point and falling all those old structures, until we reach these points and all those rituals and spells and low vibrational, you know, magic tricks that were used in order to create certain realities. All those things are falling, and I feel that these are the 90s. And so for me, because I was born in the 90s, I feel like for me it's been stuff that I've had to face that directly connects to who I am and the way in which I connect to my bloodline, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's okay. And so it may be different for everybody, but I've definitely like noticed this theme of like, once you let go of what you're trying to like accomplish or force, that's when you'll be in a different direction. You'll be tossed, you know, in the waters, but it'll lead you to something you weren't asking for, but something you did ask for. And I feel like this is something that's fairly generic, you know, especially in terms of what people tell you about manifestation and creating your own reality. But I feel that there's truly this emphasis now on the letting go of control. So I wrote these two messages here earlier and I put them into shorts, but I do feel like I want to read them again. So if you haven't watched my shorts, or if you haven't, you just want to hear them again, because I'm gonna pull oracle cards go ahead and pick one or pick both. This one's gonna be first though. This is all connected, by the way. I love the way you skip, pop, groove, step to the library. I love your not so innocent pigtails, I heard, and blonde hair and bald head. I adore your inability to detach from that black screen in your hand now. I love when you sing and don't know it. You better believe I've got all those formative years lyrics down somewhere. Your appetite for Marvel movies, your roar as Hulk smashes is something that tickles my belly and lives in my stomach. I will make all of my great bones a home for you. Thank you for being a wild, wild screw up. You have nailed it. And I'm gonna get something from here. Here's this message in case you wanna pause the screen and read it or something. I have been seeing this oracle deck in my mind for a long time, probably about the last 3 weeks, 11/11 when I looked up at the time when I said that. But it's been like every time I've tried to record, even today, even the past few times that I've recorded, there's always some sort of interference. Like people start talking, people start moving around, to the point where like I can't record. I have to like stop myself. And that's what's been happening with, I've had these cards on my mind that I need to use them, that I should use them for a while. And it's like, I'm just now able to get to it. And it's almost as if I had to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because it was just very non-coincidental that every time I wanted to record something and do this type of video, there would be some sort of noise, someone moving around, something going on, that I couldn't do this in a quiet space. And so I feel like that may be something that whoever is watching this, whoever wanted this message or was drawn to this message, may be experiencing. And from what I feel like I've just learned is that I had to become comfortable with not being able to control all of the environment and still be okay with doing something that's not perfect. So you might be a bit of a perfectionist. I'm not sure where that comes from for me. I'm a Leo, a Scorpio rising, and a Sagittarius moon. It could be all of those things why I'm such a control freak, or control fanatic. But I've had fun learning to let those things go. So I'm gonna get a card. That was very quick. Look, it says loosen your grip. Can't make this shit up, because I just was talking about being a control freak, being a control fanatic. It's all about the word and the marketing of it. You see, even now I'm trying to control. And here it is, loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So this extremity when it comes to control versus, divine discernment can really block you from source. The other day I was like feeling like I was being attacked, and then when I looked into it, I was told that it was me. Like I attacked myself because I was trying to force something instead of just allowing it to be and not taking it as a sign that I am supported. The thing about control is that it can go into overdrive really easily. That's why I prefer to call it divine discernment instead, is because control makes you have these plans. And because you have these plans, anything against those plans, you're gonna instantly categorize as, oh, this is fucking with me. But it could just be your higher self, your God self, source, spirit, like guiding you, but you mistake it as an enemy. I believe it's an autoimmune disease is what it's called when it's in the body, where you attack yourself. And so because this is your reading, and because you're resonating with this, and if you are, give it a like, thank you. I feel like you need to do a lot of relaxing of your nervous system. One of the things I was nervous about when recording this video is like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to talk loud how I want to talk loud. And I was like, why do I need to talk loud? Why can't I just talk in a regular speaking voice, So doing things like that, like talking in a more moderate voice, not rushing your speech, taking your time if you can while chewing your food. I know, some people aren't able to take their time and eat. You have a 30-minute lunch break, if you have a lunch break at all, things like that. But when and where you can, take your time chewing your food, get more rest, do more Zen things. Instead of running and listening to music, just run. Instead of running, jog. Instead of jogging, walk. Just adjust it to whatever suits you. And just more soothing things overall, drinking more warm cups of tea if you can, if you would like, things like that. Anything else for this group? Yeah, with this message, I didn't really go over it, but I felt like this was from source. Like, it could also be someone who's physically in your life, although source is also physically in your life. But source was just like, I love the way you skip, pop, groove, crackle, pop, snap, crackle, pop. We might have eaten Rice Krispies as a kid. To the library. It's just all these things about yourself that you don't notice. It's like I've always been loving you, loving up on you through all of your phases of your life. When you had pigtails, when you cut your hair off, when you dyed it blonde, like all these little steps, all these things that you cringe about, I love. And I love the ending of this. It says, thank you for being a wild, wild screw up. You have nailed it. Like, it's just a little pun, a little joke. So I feel like you're being guided, source is guiding you to be less of a hypocrite of yourself and to be more lighthearted. Okay, anything else? That was very quick. Wow, and it's two of them. I knew this was the bottom of the deck for a while. It's Portal. And it says, doors are opening, you decide, rewards, and wild card. The artist Melanie Martinez, she has just released an album called Hades, but her last album, which was her third, 3 may be important to you. Maybe you have 3 kids, or you grew up with 2 other siblings, so it's 3 of y'all. She had her third album was called Portals. And whenever I get this card, I'm always a bit disappointed because it's like, you decide rewards and wild card, and I feel like I never be getting no rewards. But I do all the time. I have things that are magical that happen for me all the time. So I feel like this card is really guiding you to keep walking forward through portals and to take inventory and be grateful that so many things that you want, you have. Like, for instance, however you're watching this video, like connected to Wi-Fi, or you have some sort of data plan, that's something that I'm sure you want and you have it. And then this one says, weight of the world, boundaries, let it go, it's not yours to carry. So I'm feeling here that there's some sort of grief of responsibility that you are really allowing to weigh you down. I feel like you would really benefit from a spa day. I don't care what anybody says. If you have an easy life, you know, what people say, you know, take a spa day if you can. And a spa day, your spa day, doesn't have to look like anybody else's spa day. Your spa day could literally be making some mud and putting your feet in it. Whatever this means for you, or whatever you are able to access right now, will be really beneficial to your nervous system, because the more your nervous system is relaxed, it's able to do what it's supposed to do, which is keep you in that flow state and provide to you the nectar of the God. So this is the end of your little reading. And if you'd like, you can come on with me to the second group. If not, I'll see you later. Okay. 2055. I need to write that down. Is when I'm starting this group. 2055. Okay. Timestamps always give me a run for my money. I wish they would just be automatic. I don't like putting those in the description. Anyways, here's your message. I'm gonna let you look at it. Okay. It says, freedom feels like not needing to be a bird, but loving them anyways. The day you stop being jealous is the day you'll know it was all for you. It will be the day that ice cream doesn't melt and cherries stay fresh. The day you offer your wrists to the sour venom instead of risking hasty protection. The day you put down the hammer, the nails, the glue gun, the concrete will be the day you see this feat of life, of bloodless love, a castle above, just before your eye. So I keep feeling with this group, or it could be the same as the first time, is that the bees protect you, and bees are notorious for protecting royalty. I've been watching a lot of bee videos with that lady Erica, where she's like, it's another day saving the bees. Oh, I love her videos. But one thing I was thinking about with seeing all these bees be so loyal to the queen is that the queen is their mother. Like, she's the mother of almost all the bees, you know? She's their mom. And so they're all just one family. I always saw a hive as kind of just like these co-workers that are really loyal to the job, but I see it now as they're a family, and they all love each other, and they all do their best to support each other through supporting the hive and the building of the comb and all the various duties that they need to play out. And because this is coming up, I feel like, because this is also something I considered because of the bee movie, like, what if you don't like the role that you're assigned to? I don't know if bees can just switch roles, or if they're just born being the undertaker bees versus the guard bees, or whatnot. But I feel like whoever's still watching this video, and if you are, please give a like, is someone who in your family you didn't vibrate and resonate with the role that you were given to take up. Like, you were supposed to be a guard bee, but you would have much rather have been a honey bee, or, you know, I don't know the name of it, but the service bees who service the queen. And because of you not like playing the role that you were supposed to in your family, you might have had to leave that hive, to leave that colony, and to go and find another hive to live with, which is also something I learned through watching these videos, is that is a thing. If a bee, you know, gets left behind, you know, after she does these processes, She says those bees that get left behind will usually go and collect a lot of, uh, gifts to present to a new hive so that they can become a part of the new hive. And so that's perfectly possible. I want you to know that that's perfectly possible for you to be welcome into a new space. But because specifically she's saying like to bring a lot of gifts, I feel like that's something that might be beneficial to you and might help you to connect and heal your inner child. So you could pretend that you're making gifts for bees. And what kind of gifts would you make for bees? It could be anything. You could build a little house for bees out of sticks. You could go plant flowers. You could make a crown, however you want to make a crown for the queen. Things like that to connect to your inner child. Okay, so now we're gonna get a card from this oracle deck. It's funny that there's this little pink mark here. I was watching a different bee YouTube channel and this guy marked the queen with pink so that she could be more easily identifiable. And I thought that was interesting because I'm like, if you're a beekeeper, wouldn't it be fun to like I feel like I would do that at the beginning. I'd be like, I want to like challenge my eyes to find the queen every time. But I'm guessing that they probably have so many queen bees, and so it would take forever. Like they can't afford that time. So I feel like that's a message for you to make something easier for yourself by marking it. Like maybe you always lose your glasses or your keys, connect something to them or paint them in like a glow in the dark color or something like that, or something like that. It's too many. Thank you. Activated earth, power places, lay lines, trust where you're led. Connecting with this energy of the bees. The bees are powerful. They are powerhouses. All that energy that they have to work so continuously and to put in so much effort day in and day out. And they also have all these very cool features that are just natural in their bodies. And I feel like where you're being led is back to your body and to realize how powerful you are in it. So if you're the kind of person that used to play sports or do something when you were younger, maybe dancing, this is your sign to slowly get back into it. Don't jump back into it. You don't want to hurt yourself. But to slowly, I'm going to do a little, And look, there's a bee here. I don't think you'll be able to see it with my camera, so I'm not going to try. But I just saw a bumblebee in this tree outside my window. So if you used to hoop, used to play basketball or football, something like that, like dip a toe back into it. If you used to box, maybe thinking about signing up for a boxing gym, just dip that little toe. And I'm seeing the bumblebee again now. It's hanging upside down on this branch, I guess, getting whatever it needs. So this is what I mean, like the flexibility of their bodies, their ability to cling on upside down. They're very strong. But specifically with upside down, it's reminding me of the hanged one in the tarot, which hangs itself upside down in order to get a different perspective. So I feel like you need to be doing things that allow you to have a different perspective. I feel maybe literally, like if you park in the same place every day, park, you know, the other way, like park your car facing a different way. If you walk the same way or take the bus the same to the same spot every day, take a bus that's an hour before that or an hour later than that, you know, sit in a different spot, sit in the window, you know, and draw some, like do things differently that'll change your perspective. Whatever pops to your mind, or if nothing pops to your mind, ask to be shown how you can make an adjustment, and it will be shown to you. And then we have this next one. I'm just gonna take it from the bottom. It's this jump in. So for you, for whoever's watching this, versus the first blue message, you're really being called to be active, but once again, in a way that is not jolting. Don't just jolt and start going to 100. Start off at 10%, okay? So it says, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. I'm hearing with this one that someone is going to get some sort of job offer, or maybe you've already gotten one. Don't worry if, I don't like to give time stuff, but I'm gonna give time stuff. I don't want to. I'm not gonna give time stuff. I don't care. But don't worry if this doesn't happen immediately. There will be some sort of offer. It might not even be a job offer. It could even be something small, like you go to a grocery store or a farmer's market and they're like, hey, you want to taste this slice of apples? Say yes. But I'm feeling for people who really are resonating with this message, this will be some sort of job offer, and it might be something that you weren't really considering. It might be in a different area, you know, that you weren't considering. I'm feeling like say yes, especially if you've been seeing bees, or if the bees or the hexagonal shape is associated with this company. Anything else? The great serving. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So I'm feeling like there might be a chance, an opportunity, once again, for you to go back into past behavior, especially when it comes to how you react to things. And because this card is called the Great Serving, this serves you as an opportunity, as a chance, as a setting that is perfect for you to change your reality significantly, not by downplaying or hiding your feelings and how you feel, but by loving yourself enough to allow yourself to express yourself, while also not beating yourself up or anyone else around you with your words or with your temperament. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Ooh, 33 minutes and 33 seconds when I said that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I will see you later. I'm the Bright Queen. If you're still watching this, please leave a heart in the comments and give this a like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.